I know it's here somewhere. Finally. Oh, it's time for the doctor. You're listening to Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. Take it away, Doctor.
Well, it's that time again, and the doctor is in. It's time for another Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon NETCAST, and we're looking forward to today's NETCAST because we got some good stuff we want to share with you. And, you know, there's just so many things happening in the tech world these days. It hasn't been that long ago that there wasn't a whole lot going on, and I'd get to, you know, I'd start to do a NETCAST, and it's kind of like, what am I going to do? There's nothing on. You know, it's like 150 channels and there's nothing on. But now there's stuff happening everywhere. I mean, there's even like earthquakes and tsunamis, and, you know, we really feel for the folks over there in Japan. My goodness, there's all kinds of things happening. I hear people at work going, is it the end of the world? Maybe. But at any rate, there's stuff happening in the tech world. We want to talk about that. First of all, let me remind you that we're proud members of the Tech Podcast Network, techpodcast.com. If it's tech, it's right here on Dr. Bill, the Computer Curmudgeon, and on techpodcast.com. I'm going to wait and talk about something that I was just about to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it later because it's not quite time. Yes. And so, let's go to the blog, shall we? Of course, that's the blog, which is at www.drbill.cc, drbill.cc, CC, of course, standing for Computer Curmudgeon. Yes, you got that right. Not the Colecosilans or whatever it is in the real world, in my world. It's something entirely different. It's the Computer Curmudgeon, which, of course, I am. Yes. Okay, first item we're going to talk about is that Google's Chrome browser beats hackers for the third year straight. Yay! I'm a big fan of the Google Chrome browser. I really like it. It's fast, it's light, it has cool options, and it's fast and it's light. And I mainly like that. But it's also very secure. I mean, I knew it was secure, but I didn't realize how secure. You get a whole bunch of hackers together and you tell them, dude, the computer that you're using is yours, and you win $15,000 if you can break this. I'm sure they took the proverbial software sledgehammer to it. But no, it didn't break. 3 years running, they couldn't break it. We're talking about the people at CanSec West, which is security computers and things on the West Coast. At any rate, they have the Pwn to Own contest, where they have teams that try to break things. Yes. Oh! Little exciting and early there. It's all excited about being the Geek Software of the Week. But yes, the Geek Software of the Week drumroll tells us that it's time for yet another Geek Software of the Week. You know, we like to bring these things to you. Sometimes they just sneak up on us and do the drum roll. At any rate, the Geek Software of the Week this week is Blubrry Powerpress. Now, I've always known this is a really good plugin, but they just went to version 2.0, which is more mature and has more features. And so, I am now using it on the blog, which actually took a little doing because with, let's see, this would be podcast number 179. And that means there's 178 podcasts I had to go back and make sure worked correctly in PowerPress. And they did, after I did a little tweaking. But it was worth it to do all that work. And it was some work to do. But at any rate, now my blog is using fully the PowerPress thing for everything but the RSS feed. Now, I know some of you are going, but Dr. Bill, that's its main feature, is that it will do iTunes, start to say iPad. I've got iPad on the brain, but no. iTunes compliant RSS feeds. That's its big claim to fame. Well, yes, but I'm the maintainer of the Durcaster project. What am I supposed to do? You know, my own open source project is a competitor for PowerPress, which it really isn't when you get right down to it, because PowerPress has so many other features. And so if you have a WordPress blog and you want all of the features that it has, I encourage you to use PowerPress. Now, I am a good example. I'm using PowerPress to display the video netcast in the blog. I'm using PowerPress to do an embed of the video netcast in the blog so you can do the embed code and put it on some other website. I'm doing all these other different things with PowerPress. However, I'm still doing the RSS feed with Dirtcaster just because I'm the Dirtcaster dude. And because Dirtcaster gives me certain things that I like to use in my feed. That's just me, okay? I'm not saying their feed is subpar at all. In fact, it is quite awesome, and you can do all kinds of various selections and things. So if you aren't in the situation that I am, where you need to use some other RSS feed for your shows, then I encourage you to go ahead and use the one in PowerPress. It's one of the many awesome features, HTML5 video support, so that it can fail over from MP4, M4V type video over to WebM for those browsers that support WebM. And then full iTunes support, iTunes compliant feeds, which we just talked about. Integrated HTML5 and Flash media players, integrated right into the thing. Embed support for such sites as YouTube and Ustream.tv. Media modifiers, easily add, modify, remove podcast. Migration tools to move it from PodPress to our Blogger removable type over to PowerPress. Multi-podcast support. Support for media formats that are too extensive to name. Actually, they're all on the blog. You can read them there. And then media statistics through the free Blubrry Media Statistics thing. Now, I will say this, Todd, bear with me here. Dirtcaster also has the feature to use Blubrry podcast statistics. I added that in myself many years ago. Well, I say I did. I didn't do it. Our awesome PHP guru, Henry Ratliff, did it. But at any rate, it's in there. And it's an awesome feature of Dirtcaster as well. So you can go check out dirtcaster.org if you are interested in our open source project. Or I would encourage you to go to the Blubrry Powerpress plugin, which is, of course, listed right here. WordPress.org extend plugins PowerPress. Yes, it's a mouthful. And you can get it from there. Or you can just, while you're in WordPress, you can just click on plugins and say, find a new plugin and put in Blubrry Powerpress. That'll work too. Okay, next item. Apple may reach new high in early iPad 2 sales. I told you I had iPad 2 on the brain. Yes, iPad 2 sales. They may reach the 1 million mark this weekend. And this weekend is the weekend that I am currently in myself, in my time-space continuum, which is, of course, this is Sunday, March the 13th as I record this. So, this particular weekend as I record this, they may actually break the 1 million mark record. Cool! That's a lot of iPad 2s. A lot of money changing hands there. Wish I had some of both the money and an iPad 2. Although I'm kind of leaning toward the Motorola Zoom myself just a bit. Because I'm an Android kind of guy, you know. Open source, dudes. Yes. Sing the praises of open source. Anyway, next item. Canon announces support for Thunderbolt in cameras. Thunderbolt. Doesn't that sound exciting? Isn't it interesting how it used to be called stuff like Firewire, USB 3.0. Then you have Thunderbolt. A little more exciting, I'd say. But at any rate, Thunderbolt is much, much, much faster than even USB 3.0, which is way fast. So, dude, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, basically, they said that you can transfer a file the size of a DVD movie using Thunderbolt in less than 30 seconds. Wow! That's fast. And I'm for that kind of fast. Yes. So get me a Thunderbolt card to slap in my PC. because I want to be able to do those kind of file transfers. Wow. And I would need an external drive that would use the Thunderbolt interface as well. So get on that, people. Yes, I'm sure you're out there going, yes, sir, yes, sir. Actually, right hand, yes, sir, yes, sir. Actually, you can use either hand. I'm easygoing. Anyway, next item, IE9. What? Us worry? IE9 didn't fare so well at the little security thing they had over there on the West Coast that I was talking about earlier. No, they got pwned, and the reason they did is because, of course, the security in IE is not adequate. I could say a great many other things, but I won't. At any rate, Microsoft said, well, dude, that's an old version, and version 9's coming out, and this won't work in that thing they used to hack it. It's not going to work. Yeah, but how many other holes is IE9 going to have in it? I will say this, to be perfectly fair. I have used the IE9 release candidate. I did finally download it. I know I said I probably wouldn't, but I did. I'm the geek. Okay. So anyway, I downloaded it. I tried it, and I gotta admit, it's pretty nice. It's faster, much faster. It seemed to support all of the websites that it was having problems with when it was the old IE. So it seems to support standards better. Will it support WebM by the time it comes out? Maybe. Maybe. You say, why do you care? Well, because WebM video is awesome. And if every browser would support WebM, then it would certainly make my life easier. I wouldn't have to be, making all these different file formats for the show. Speaking of which, speaking of which, you may notice that this very netcast is in the M4V format. Yes. The reason I did that is it's not that much different than MP4, yet it will stream better on the Roku and Boxy boxes through Blubrry and techpodcast.com. So it's worthwhile for me to put it in that format. For those of you that have issues with that, send me email if you have problems. We'll try to work it out. Otherwise, hopefully, nobody will complain too much. It will still be available as an FLV, and it will still be available as, of course, the MP3 and OGG. I like OGG. Audio formats. So you have 2 audio choices and 2 video choices. That's enough choices. Anyway, so I tried it on my Droid X, and it seemed to be fine. And I tried it, of course, through the web, and that seemed to be fine. And the first one I tried it on was the new project we have of VirtZine, the virtual magazine. Virtual magazine. Well, it is a virtual magazine, but it's also the magazine of virtual computing and cloud computing. It's a virtual magazine. It technically is, really, when you get right down to it. But anyway, I tried it there first, okay? Because we don't yet have a whole lot of people subscribing. So please go subscribe. I mean, that way you'll get 2 doctors for the price of 1. Let's see, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, so maybe a banana gives you 2? I don't know. Sounds like that weird commercial. You know the weird commercial I'm talking about where it says, it's time for the bonus round. There are 2 bananas. What follows? And the guy goes, an orangutan. Yes, you're right. He could say anything, and they would say, yes, you're right. But anyway, if you don't know what commercial I'm talking about, you're probably going, what? It's a radio commercial. Go listen to radio sometimes. Okay. I know I'm strange, but it's the strangeness that people tune in for. I've discovered that. Yes. I've had many people comment on the strangeness and the weirdness and the silliness, and they like it, and so do I. So it works. Hey. Anyway, what was I talking about? File formats, web browsers, and many other things, and orangutans. Bananas are good. I like bananas, but they have to be slightly overripe for me. Not totally brown, no. just have nice brown spots. See, if it's too green, it has that green taste. I don't like the green taste. Ugh. But when it's just right, bananas are awesome. Yes. So this must make this netcast the Banana Lovers Edition. Have you ever wondered how I come up with the names for the netcast? They flash into my brain unbidden, and I use them. That's how. So until next time, remember that the doctor is out of here!